In today's video, I'm trying something out that I've never tried before. I am creating a Pingdom. Some of you might have heard of that before. Wild Fern's done one, Harley G's done one. I don't know if she called hers a Pingdom, but essentially it is a planted rock garden full of pinguicula plants. These are a type of carnivorous plant that I've not grown previously, but I got myself this one, this quite large one, in Malvern, and when learning how to take care of it online, doing research, I saw that you could make a Pingdom, and I've seen my patrons have done some Pingdoms, and I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do. I'm not claiming to be an expert in this at all. I've done, I wouldn't say minimal research, I've spent a few hours definitely watching different Pingdom or pinguicula rock garden, carnivorous plant rock garden videos online, and figuring out what's best. But I ordered myself some more as well to go with my big one. Oh gosh, I don't even remember what this one is now. I think it's a Tina. I'll have to check my Malvern haul video, but this one's just been living in a little puddle of water, of distilled water, because I did have some distilled water from back in my importing days, and so it's just been living in that, and it has definitely lost a couple of bits of leaf there, which is not ideal, but I have then since got myself some more in order to create my little Pingdom pinguicula rock garden. So that's what's happening today. Before I get into it though, I want to say, if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I appreciate you returning. Now I guess we can first go through the pings that I got myself. In addition, I made an order from, oh gosh, what's the name? It's Hans Fly Trap or something. I'll put the name on the screen, and I will make sure to link everything that I'm using here down below. And so I put an order with them because they had loads more different sort of pings, and I actually, I ordered 3, but I got 5, which is kind of exciting. Maybe it's because some of them are small. But the first one I got here is the Pinguicula cyclosecta. This adorable thing here, it's a bit drippy at the minute because I've just been storing these in a puddle of water, but I really liked the sort of more dark green, smaller leaves on this one. And apparently it's got a purple flower in it. I will try and find pictures of the flowers of each of these online so we can admire them together. And then these next ones, I got doubles of each of them, and I don't know if it's just because they were small or not. So this next one is the Pinguicula agnata, which this one is not looking its happiest currently. So I got 2 of these. I ordered 1, they sent me 2. I genuinely don't know why that's the case, but I feel lucky about that. It's got white flowers that are violet blue throated. I don't know what that means. I am so new to carnivorous plants and pinguiculas, and so I'm not familiar with them. I feel very lucky that this one has flowers at all. It did already have one when I got it, but it's definitely growing, so something must be going right. And then this little guy, I got these ones, and I think this is the one I was kind of most excited about. This is the Asariana, because I really loved how freaking cute and tiny they are. Look at that. And so again, this is another one. See, it's very drippy. This is another one that they sent me 2 of, but they're so small, but I love how compact they are. And they they look like mini succulents, these ones, especially. But they're so symmetrical, which is cool. And these have pale chalk blue flowers, which sounds fun. It's exciting. So I got myself some of those. I bought myself some lava rocks from a sort of terrarium store. I bought myself a kilogram of them. Don't really know exactly which one I'm going to use yet, or multiples potentially. who knows? And then I got myself some ping soil, peat-free ping soil from Wax Wicked Plants, because they need, like, I didn't know what sort of soil to use otherwise, because it's just, how am I meant to know? I don't know. But I've basically just been, these have just been sitting in the bowl that I'm going to use. This is actually the bottom of an egg-shaped terrarium that I made for like an Easter, maybe in like 2020 or something like that. But I broke the top bit, and I've like just had the bottom bit for ages because it's quite a nice shape. I figured I could probably use it for something. And finally the day has come. It's the perfect sort of shape for my Pingdom, which I'm really excited about. And in the bottom, it's just got a bit of distilled water and a bit of dirt. So I figure that will be perfect. So let me zoom you in, scoot you forward, and we can sort of build up this Pingdom together. I'm really excited about it. It's such like a fun, sort of crafty thing to do. So I think I'm just gonna leave the water in there because it is perfectly good distilled water. And I can start with figuring out how I want my rocks, because I feel like I would like to have a rock in here just to add like a little bit of height to it. I think that would be cool. So like I said, I ordered 1 kilogram of rocks because I didn't know exactly the size I would get with what I ordered. But I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I want to arrange them nicely. Because if I can get it to like sort of support itself. I also don't want to break this vessel. Maybe sort of like that, because I could probably like get a ping and put it in there. Oh, I should grab my sphagnum moss as well, because that'll be useful. But essentially this is lava rock or pumice, and this, it like absorbs the moisture. It like wicks up the moisture really, really well. And so pinguiculas, one of the fun facts I learned when I was researching, these are lithophytes, meaning that they grow on rocks. So I will be mounting some of them, hopefully, on these rocks. I feel like that could be quite cool. From here, I am gonna fill the sort of bottom, maybe half of it or so, with semi-hydro, because again, that's a nice porous material, because they don't have like very deep root systems, pings, and so I don't need that much soil. So if I can fill it up with semi-hydro, I can kind of use that as a sort of water reservoir for it regularly, and that can wick up the moisture over time. And I do want to reiterate, this is not an instructional video because I'm just sort of trying this out and experimenting and like going off of what I've learned through researching online. So don't take what I say as like gospel or anything. I'm just learning and trying new things because that's what makes me happy. Learning and trying new things. Okay, I feel like that's a sort of good height for the semi-hydro. Like I said, you can, I've seen people do this as well in like much shallower, like literally just a drainage tray almost, which totally would be fine for them. But I would like to at least try to put some soil in. I don't know, this just feels like a cuter sort of situation. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to use this rock in the end, which I can use it for something else later, or I can make like a mini one, because I'm a little bit worried actually that the big boy's not going to fit well in here. Maybe I can put it like in a gap there, but I'm not really sure. So I'm just gonna pull some soil out and kind of chuck it over the top. So this is a specific pinguicula mix from Wax Wicked Plants, and I was able to buy like just a liter of it, which I quite like because I didn't want a whole lot. And they had peated and peat-free versions as well, which is quite nice because I try and grow things peat-free where possible because peat is like a non-renewable resource. But peat is definitely something that a lot of carnivorous plants, like it's used in a lot of soils for carnivorous plants. So being able to get a peat-free one felt like a nice option. Cool. So got a nice layer there. Now for the sort of fun part where I get to put the pings in here. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more I don't think that the big boy can go in here well. I might go to the charity shop and try and find a new container for this one, and then I can pop this rock in with it as well so it can have that. I think I might just have to go with just the smaller ones in here. And I can always do more ping shopping and like find other cool ones to pop in as and when. So, ooh, let's see. I definitely want to put one in this little like craggy spot. So I've pulled some sphagnum moss. This is just Soil Ninja sphagnum moss. And I'm gonna just kind of stuff it in that crack. And in theory, this moss could grow as well. And what do you think? Should we put a small or like a medium one on there? Let's put a small one. So I'm just gonna kind of pull this out from the soil it's got on there. Like I said, I'm a bit nervous. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I feel like this carpet moss stuff that's around it will be really nice in it as well, and it'll grow on here, so like I can just pop things like that in, and the moss will like slowly grow in this space, which is fun. So okay, so I've just pulled this guy out, and it's kind of scary. Might wrap its roots a little bit in a tiny bit of the wet soil that it was in, and then plop it, sort of jiggle it onto there. And like, I think in theory it should just like root into the rock, as far as I know. I'm not 100% on that, but it should just kind of grow into it, which I think could be really cool. And then let's put a nice big one here. I feel like that's a really good spot for one. I'll put this one. Which one is this? This is the Cyclosecta. And oh my gosh, online, these guys look so freaking cool. They go like really blue purpley. You can see the roots on that one. And I'm just gonna sort of try and get in there and kind of push it in and the soil around it a little bit. Try not to get it too messy. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. So there's a baby little one on this moss. So I might just stick this clump of moss in, sort of like in there. And then the baby one can grow up a bit in that little like section. Basically, I just get to play, which is super fun, and really, really enjoyable for me. It's a good sort of rainy day activity. I know it's not raining, but I would highly recommend as like sort of garden creation. Fun. I could put another, I'll put maybe one of the other bigger ones sort of in here, so you don't have to mount all of them. You can not. So yeah, let's put one there. I'll put one of the agnatas in. The roots on these are so cool. So I'm just gonna pop it, sort of wiggle it into that space. Oh, I'm gonna have to like go in with a bit of a brush or something to try and wipe these leaves, because I've gotten soil on them, unfortunately. So I really like that as a vibe. Maybe I'll try and stick one of the other big ones in there, and then the last small one can kind of go around here. I feel like that's a vibe, and I do think, unfortunately, my big boy just isn't quite gonna fit easily into this space, which is a bit of a shame, but that's okay. Take some sphagnum moss and stick it in the little craggy bit. A bit of soil around it, and go in like that. Pop some more soil in around its roots. I probably didn't need to buy soil just because I've got all of the sort of extra bits from these ones, but you know, I've done it now, so it's fine. I am just gonna like take the the little mossy bits and tuck them in around as well, because those will grow. What do you think? The last little guy sort of around here? There definitely needs something to be in this sort of zone. This is the like absolute tiniest one. I've just grabbed a rag here, a damp cloth, so I can kind of go around the edges and clean them up a little bit, because they got a little bit dirty in the process. Oh my goodness, I think this already caught some fungus gnats, which is awesome. Oh my goodness, maybe this will like really help with the sort of, not that I've got like fungus gnat issues in my home or whatever, and I am using nematodes, but they do attract fungus gnats, and they'll stick to the sort of oily surface of the leaves. Essentially, my understanding is that pinguicula translates to like little oily one or something, which is kind of adorable. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually gonna have a quick run to the charity shop to see if I can find a vessel for this one that's better than this. Sort of any bowl will do. A bowl, I've seen people do them in like the sort of like crystal ice cream bowls that are on like a little stem. I feel like that would be really, really cute. I just need something. It needs something, basically. And so I would love to pot this one up as well in this video. So let's go to the shop and we can see what we can find out there. So I went to a few different shops because why not just like go to all of the ones in my neighborhood so I can like see all of the different options. But I got a couple different things. Don't know exactly which one will be right, but I really liked this one because I think I just like the vibe when they're a little bit elevated, but I got worried that this was going to be too small. It might be, I don't know. So I also got this guy, which is just a literal Pyrex container. So I think either would work quite well. And I can always just like save this for another time. I think I'm gonna try, sorry if Cleo's moving the camera. Cleo, don't do that, please. I think I'm going to try to pop it in this one if I possibly can, because I think that would be the cuter of the two options. And these were cheap as chips, so total £7 for 2 containers. That's why I love charity shops. And I mean, I probably should rinse this out, but you know what? I have a towel. I have this. Cheeky hand wipe will do. So let's bring you back in nice and tight so we can see if this will work for the big boy, which I mean, I genuinely think it might not, but you know, we can try it. There's no harm in trying it. It's just got such big leaves, but I guess they can go over the outside of the container. That's not the end of the world, I guess. I don't know. Again, we will start with a layer of semi-hydro, and it's not gonna be as deep on this one for sure. And then instead of using the pink soil I have, I'm just gonna use, or the stuff I bought, I'm gonna use the stuff that was in with the other pings because, I mean, it's probably peated, which, I mean, if I have to use peat stuff, I will. And I'd rather use this because it's already here. I already own it. I may as well use what I have, if that makes sense. And then I'm just gonna kind of do that a little bit for the roots and see if I can pull this guy out easily. I might remove, the leaves are like so delicate on pings. So like any sort of distress and they just break, which is unfortunate. So pop that in there, and it's not looking even really, but maybe in time it'll sort of even out a little bit. And then I think I'm actually gonna put sphagnum around the top as well, underneath these leaves in that kind of gap. Technically this is live sphagnum moss as well, so it could grow, which could be kind of cool. Yeah, okay. I know the flowers look a little bit like they've gotten old at this point. They have come and gone, which is fine. This one, I'm pretty sure was touching the grow light in the cabinet, so I might just like snap it off actually. I don't really know how you're supposed to work with these flowers because I've not done it before. But I'll leave this one on for now, and if I notice that it like starts proper dying, I can take it off. But there we go. This little guy. I do really like this little container. I think it's so freaking cute. So there we go. I've got my 2 little Pingdom. Does this count as a Pingdom? I decided not to go for putting the rock in the end, just because I don't think it needs it. I can save this for another one in the future, for when maybe I do this scape if I get more pings or other carnivorous plants. I feel like it would be the perfect option. But yeah, that is me making a pingdom. I really hope you enjoyed this video, enjoyed coming on this little journey with me. I had fun building these as a fun project, and I'll be sure to like keep y'all updated on how they do going forward. I now just need to keep them alive, which is a little bit scary. I have got something specifically for that though. I got myself a zero water pitcher, which is a water filtration system similar to like a Brita or whatever, but I've heard Brita doesn't do it well enough. But the zero water filter does, because pinguiculas and carnivorous plants in general, they need distilled water, rainwater, or like properly filtered water. And I've heard from a few different carnivorous plant folk that this will do. And so I got myself one. And I mean, what's the harm? I can have filtered water as well. It could be quite fun. So that is a good 18 pounds. It was not expensive or anything like that. And so I'll make sure that these stay nice and moist in there. The water reservoirs are enough. And the good thing about having these big rocks going all the way down to the bottom is they can wick water all the way up to these, like, even the high points up here, which is great. So yeah, I will keep y'all updated with these. I'm really pleased with them. I think they look super cute. That is it for today's video. Before I go, I want to say a huge thank you to the newest members of my Good Growing fam over on Patreon. So Kyle, Nura, and Caitlin, thanks for joining in. I really hope you love it over there, and you take advantage of all of the fun things like access to the Discord server and bonus content videos, live chats, all of the cool things that are there. If anyone else is interested in joining, it is £3 a month, and for that you get all of the things. I just have one tier, and I try to make it as accessible as possible. You can think about it as like getting me a cup of coffee each month, or running one of my grow lights, which cost about that much to run, but absolutely no pressure if that is not your thing. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you want me to talk about in the future. If you want updates on my little pingdoms, let me know, because I'm excited for them. It's just a fun project, and subscribe for more. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!